Hi YouTube. Hi fellow orchid lovers. This is Diana's Orchids. Welcome to my channel. I know I haven't been around much. I apologize. It's been a little busy. Today, one of the questions I got the most when I was out and about plant shopping is, well, I bought a orchid about a year ago. It's not dead, but now what do I do with it? Well, due to quite a few things happening in my life, this orchid was bought pre-pandemic, and normally I would already have this in water, full water culture, and I've left it here, and everybody's pretty much experienced the same thing of not getting what they need. But the main question is, without delay, is my plant's over a year old. What should I do next? What you should do is look here, and if you can see here, you can see there are some dead roots in here. So we are going to bring up the bag and tip it over. There we go. Pot is empty. We're going to look here and see what's going on. Yeah. Now, I always soak scissors 70% alcohol, not 90. You don't want to destroy your orchids. So we're going to let these evaporate. Alcohol sterilization, the evaporation is the most important. It's going to take a second or two. But as we all say, the show must go on. You're not going to really be able to see that. Hang on. You may run across this when you unpot. In fact, I'm going to keep working to get this undone. This lovely thing right here, you really want to get into, because you're going to find that that was the main pod of where it started growing. These roots here are flat, desiccated, they're done. I'm normally right-handed, so we want to feel our way through this. You can tell the difference on a firm root. See this one here? Even though it's discolored, it is firm. Oops, one that got away. Okay, sorry folks. Gonna have to oops. Yeah, that's done. Now this is not the worst that I've ever seen. But I am pretty disappointed that it's taken me so long to get around to this. Because what ends up happening is the plant ends up doing the most suffering while it's trying to get air, water, light, and support a root that's no longer viable. Now you can keep the vellum, which is the inside of the root, which are these little strings right here. Let's see if it'll focus. There we go. Or you can opt to cut them off. And I'm opting to remove them. Now that grow plug that I removed, unfortunately, is on mini orchids. That is, the reason they have that is most places that are going to supply a big box store are automated. And even if they're not automated, where they're getting their first 2-year growers are. So what happens is that grow plug is handled by a robotic arm that picks the orchids at the 1-year level, picks them up and transplants them into the next pot. And at that time, within the next 6 months, it'll be dispatched to a Home Depot, a Lowe's, a Walmart. Not directly, it will go to a grower like this one, Expert Gardener at Walmart. And 6 months after that, they will ship it out to Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot. So it's really not the fault of the nursery, per se this one. And they actually have far more success using the grow plug method. So we just want to get as much of all of the bark out that we can without hurting the orchid. Now, as I said, a lot of my orchids are in full water culture, and I'll be doing an update on those. I have a lot in bloom right now. I'm going to give this one a nice little rinse. Okay, so we've been rinsed. This is garbage because nobody wants to reuse that. That tag can go down there. And this can go somewhere. Top of the coffee maker, good place. I'm going to set this one in here for a moment. This will be its new home for the next few minutes. I'm going to check and make sure if you get water next to the stem. If it's early enough during the day, it probably isn't going to be a real problem. But it's always go on the side of caution. And normally I would soak this bark the night before and put it in. Today is not a normal day. So now you can use whatever bark. Maybe you use a bark moss. You know, I don't know what you're comfortable with using. Maybe you don't know either. Maybe you're just at that point where you're like, gosh, I don't know, but I feel like I should know, but I don't. And you know what? That's okay. Growing orchids is not an exact science. And if you want to save your orchid, and make it a part of your home decor, but make it one of your home pets, so to speak. We have that one root, it'll probably escape out the side. The one nice thing about these pots that have holes, it gives your orchid a chance to seek air and get out, get what it needs. Always make sure your space is clean, because by the time you're done, it will be dirty. I know that's kind of like, well, what's the point? We're going to make it nice and clean and then get it dirty again? Just leave it dirty. Well, but you don't want to leave it dirty because, or have it dirty, because you don't want your orchids getting anything that it shouldn't be getting. Now, since these have been grown in bark for so long, they're definitely past and into their 4th year, which makes it difficult for me to consider doing water culture. I could do it, and I have done it successfully before, but you know what? Right now, for the sake of time, argument. Now, you don't ever want to put this down your sink. The bag that has all the gunk in it, that is exactly where you want that to go. Remember that bark is not something you want down your garbage disposal or in your pipes. Now, what I was using is just simple, coarse orchid potting mix from Miracle Grow. Now, this is kind of some fun stuff. It's a finer grade, and we're going to top dress this just a little bit. And this is when I'll be wishing that I had moss. Actually, I do have moss, but I'm not going to use it. How about that? Oops. I apologize. My arthritis is a little bit through the roof. My hands are not totally cooperating with me today. So I really do appreciate the fact that you've taken your time to spend it with me here today, because I know you could be anywhere else doing anything else, and the fact that you decided to stop in and view my video, to me, is pretty awesome. So thank you for that in advance. Hit the like button if you feel like it, or leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Or if you have any interesting growing tips yourself that you do or use. Now, I'm just doing one today. I actually have another one, but we are going to do him off camera. One thing, if you've been watching my videos longer than, oh, I don't know, a year or so, you know that I don't do really long videos, or at least I haven't in quite some time. And I may be correcting that. We shall see. Now, the fun part is we're gonna move over here. I'm gonna take you with me. I know we're going to the sink. I don't know if you'll be able to see into the sink. Oh, pick that up. Oh, no, probably not. There we go. Normally I do this all handheld. Sorry, I'm not trying to make you seasick. Now I'm going to go ahead and slowly put this one in. Yes, some bark will float out and float away. I have a sieve, you know, I'm sure everyone has one of those, so I'll be able to filter out anything that is coming out. And we'll just slowly give a little bit over the top. Where's my little dunker? Apologize. It's like just when you think you have everything that you need, you've now we had a really big hot spell. We had 3 days over 80, and then we went right on back down to 50s and 60s. And let me tell you, that does quite a number on your plants. Now, if you have air conditioning, now I do not have air conditioning. I have forced air, heat, and it makes a difference. Because with air conditioning and vents and where your plants are at, none of my plants are close to any vents for a reason. I don't want them to become too dried out, but I do want to make sure that they're okay in the aspect that they're getting what they need. And when I grow in full water culture, it is a little different from this. But I have been home for so long that I'm like, I don't even know why I'm doing full water culture, except for when we're gone for lengthy periods of time, that I don't want to have to worry about someone taking care of my plants while I'm gone. So, my friends, this will sit. In fact, let me hit the timer. I'm going to set the timer up for about 15 minutes and let that soak up, get saturated. Then I'm going to drain it and then put it in its new home, and we'll check up on it very soon. So that's what you want to do after you've had your plant for over a year and perhaps it's not blooming for you or it hasn't grown. Most orchid growers that have been doing it longer than a year or two know that normally if you get it home, you need to go ahead and dump out whatever it's in because it's old. It's not getting the nutrients it needs to get anymore. The sooner you can repot it, I don't care how fabulous the blooms are, repot it. Your blooms will stay, they're not going to blast. I've heard so many things. I did have one blast, and that was because it actually had And that's the other thing, you get new plants, keep them away from your old established plants when you first get them. It had a mealybug on it. Or was it spider mites? It was one of the two. I want to say mealybug though. So we had to get that under control on the plant. We got the bud blast done, and then it continued to bloom, and it went on to be healthy and beautiful. Still is. But never bring home a new blooming orchid and put it in with your established orchids. It's a recipe for disaster if you have any mealybugs, spider mites, what have you. Check your plants as much as you can. Anyway, that wraps up my video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I hope you're having sunshine somewhere. Well, that's it for me. Until next time, bye.